Economic stagnation is absolutely surreal in Canada right now. I'm myself in the construction trades. Things have been going really south, and specifically after COVID, things have been changing. Small businesses now are closing at alarming rate. I'm in the market in Saskatoon right now, and things are really slowing down here and stagnant. A lot of home construction that used to exist here is non-existent as much anymore. There is construction, but not as much. So a lot of tradespeople are struggling. A lot of small businesses are downsizing and closing, and this is all due to the boom and bust cycle, but a lot of it is also due to the economic and monetary policies that the government is doing in Canada. Inflation and the price hikes that we have right now in housing, in food, and other necessities of life is being caused by the government policies and regulations. I'll give you an example. For example, house prices. The reason they're so expensive, housing is so expensive in Canada, is because of red tape, is because of government regulation. And guys, regulation almost always favors certain aspects of economy or certain people. Usually, government regulation favors monopolies. It's just utterly amazing how people are numb and asleep, especially this newer generation has no idea what's gonna happen to them if these neoliberal policies continue in Canada. If these globalists continue with their neoliberal policies, this new generation is basically going to lose a lot of the freedoms and a lot of the rights that people have enjoyed for a few generations. I'm not going to say many generations, I'm going to say for a few generations. But things are now going backwards. We're losing more freedoms, political freedoms, economic freedoms. And this new generation, I don't see a hope because they're being brainwashed in schools. Their curriculum is about things that really don't matter academically, such as the LGBTQ agenda. And they're brainwashing this new generation to be bubbleheads, basically corporate bubbleheads. And at the same time, the same neoliberalists that are globalists, they're orchestrating all these wars in Russia, in Ukraine. Now we have wars in the Middle East, possibly a bigger war in Iran. So this is all part of an agenda which this newer generation in the West has no idea that it's going to affect them a lot more than they have any idea about it. And they're taught to just not care. We're being trained to be drones. We're being trained to be slaves for the system, and we're increasingly losing our rights and freedoms. And that's part of the reason why the government policies are mainly supporting monopolistic corporations, because the idea is to get rid of a lot of small businesses, a lot of small home construction companies, and to create only big corporations, which will be the ones that are building homes, and rest of us will be working for them, not only in home construction trades, but also in many other industrial areas. What we need to understand is things are temporarily might get better, but the problem is that things are gonna get worse, and I am a pessimist because of the facts that you can see on the ground. With this type of government spending, with this type of household debt, things are not gonna get better. How can things get better if 40% of households are basically on the verge of foreclosure? If people have so much mortgage and debt they can't even afford basic necessities of life. I know people that are struggling so much right now they can't even afford to buy food right now. That's the real situation that's happening right now as we speak.